Welcome back to another episode of Filmaholic. This is our free pour episode we have every Thursday. We break down a particular film. Right now we're doing A24 movies, and this week we are doing Moonlight from 2016, directed by Barry Jenkins. I watched this last night. You watched it a little bit ago because you're on your A24 marathon. Mine is on hiatus right now.
You gave up.
I've still seen more of their movies than you so far.
Give me a week and a half.
So far.
That's when the pressure will be on. You'll be like, you'll see that. How many have you seen? Like 77?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Wait till I get to like the 78 mark. It's like,
you're like,
I gotta get back on it.
Yeah, staying up all night just watching the movies. I don't know. It's like you did a smart thing by watching them in order. You know, I'm not rewatching ones though a lot either, unless we're talking about it in the videos. So like all I have left is just bottom of the barrel right now.
Yep, I'll at least have some kind of hope along the way. Like right now, I'm about to be on my good stretch. Killing of a Sacred Deer today, and then Lady Bird, Disaster Artist. So
yeah, you're in a good stretch right now.
I'm on a good one. 2017 stretch was good.
So Moonlight. I watched it last night, like I said. I gave it 4 out of 5. I think it's a really good film. I originally had it at a 4.5, but I haven't seen it since probably at least 2017. You moved it down to a 4 too, so explain your reasoning for that.
Just the third act, I just didn't care about it at all this time around.
See, I don't know. I moved it down to a 4.
I don't think it was bad, but that just kind of took me out of it.
It might be like actually worth a 4.5. It's just like that's my personal rating is a 4. But I disagree with you on the third act. I like the third act. I liked all 3 acts. I don't really know if there was a favorite one that I had of the 3.
First one's my favorite.
From my memory, I like the first one the best. But rewatching it, I'm not sure. What is the first one your best, just in general, or is it because Juan's there, Mahershala Ali?
It goes 1, 2, 3 for me, as far as best.
Because I don't
know. There's just like stuff in 3. I don't know. It's like. And I don't think it's 3 on its own. I think it's like because stuff was left out in 2. Like in between 2 and 3, like I don't know, like, the fact that he does become a drug dealer, and then he, makes up with his mom, kind of. Not for me.
The mom character in general is not.
You could rot. I could care less. I definitely not gonna cry over you. I'm sorry.
That's how I felt too. Definitely didn't really have any sympathy for her. And I don't know, like.
Well, it's like the last thing you see from Chiron in the first one. I think it's him. He leaves one after he finds out he's a drug dealer.
Yes, that's the last thing.
And he sells to his mom. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like I'm sure they had more interactions after that, obviously. But
him and Juan.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's like that's the last thing we got, and I don't know. Like you're still cool with your mom being on drugs.
Well, we also got in the middle chapter.
Yeah.
And both of those chapters was just awful.
Yeah, terrible.
The second chapter, she is taking his money that he got from Teresa,
kicking him
out of the house so she can do her stuff. And that's a character arc. So, like, the fact that his character was able to forgive her, good on him. But I needed to see more of that to believe that and to care about it between 2 and 3.
That was my problem. It just felt rushed, honestly.
Because we really don't know either, like, as far as between 2 and 3, what her relationship was with when they moved to Atlanta. How was she when they moved to Atlanta? Because honestly, I don't think it was good because he ended up on the block,
Yeah.
like where was she during that time?
Probably buying from the deal.
Probably. I don't think it was more until he got older that she, in the past few years, I mean, she's still in rehab in the movie. So I feel like this was more of a recent thing. And also too, he had a picture in the third chapter next to his phone when he was in bed, and I think that was him and his mom, Paula.
I didn't pay attention.
Which I don't know. I mean, and that goes with him in the in that chapter, him going to visit her and everything. But I don't know. But one thing I liked a lot about the third chapter was, and this is overall bad, even though Juan is a conflicted character. That was his role model as a kid, his male role model, but also just his role model in general. So that's how he ended up becoming as an adult. I mean, he does the same job, kind of, same style.
See, that's the thing, and that's the thing. My gap between 1 and 2 is you don't get Juan at all. So the last thing we know is that he's mad at Juan because he's a drug dealer who sells to his mom.
But they do make and I do agree. I wish I would have seen more of him growing up around Juan and their relationship, and that's part of it being so. Small.
I don't imagine Juan would encourage him to be a drug dealer because he definitely felt ashamed when he asked him. He put his head down, like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't think so either. Absolutely
so I don't know. That's what I don't.
But I think, I mean, even if he didn't, try to tell him to do that. I mean, it's just he was around that, and he saw that was the best person and the best people in his life was him and Teresa. And in the second chapter when he visits Teresa, she says, you and Juan were thick as thieves. Like, so they still had like a really good relationship as he got older. Which was another.
I didn't like that she wasn't in the third act either.
Yeah, she was just mentioned. I honestly, I feel like because the movie is only an hour and so, it's under 2 hours, I believe.
Hour 50, something like that.
And it makes sense, like that. It's 111 minutes, so yeah, it's just a little shy of 2 hours. Honestly, though, you could have added another 30 minutes to this.
Yeah, you could have been another chapter.
Another chapter, or I don't even know if I need another chapter if you just extended on some of these chapters.
Well, I would have liked to have another one when he was, I guess, in between 1 and 2.
You just want more of Juan.
Well, like Juan and Teresa. Like I really want one in between 1 and 2 and one in between 2 and 3.
Which, if you go that far, I think this would have worked a lot better as a miniseries too.
Yeah, it would have worked a lot better as a miniseries.
Because then, yeah, you definitely could have.
You could have like an hour and a half each.
Yeah, and I think that would have been great. You would have got a lot more in there. And Teresa's mentioned in the third part, but obviously,
yeah,
when we first see him in the third part, he's in Atlanta, so he's not even around them, and he only goes back to Miami because of Kevin.
Yeah.
So he isn't there long. And I guess, yeah, but I agree. It would have been nice to see her in that third act too. Or maybe if he drove down there to see Kevin, and before he went to see Kevin, he went to like a graveyard and like visit.
Dead.
Juan's dead.
I thought you were talking about Teresa.
No. She's alive because they mentioned that. But like Juan, like because we didn't get him in the second act, we know he's dead. If maybe in the third act he was coming back there, visits graveyard, visits Juan's grave. I think that could have been a really good scene too, because then the music could have slowed down. increase the sound of the breeze, because the breeze is a big part of this film,
Yeah.
as far as sound design and stuff goes, as well as the music, which I had written down. Which I'm not a huge fan of the music in this movie personally, but I did watch a video like breaking some stuff down and explaining it before we did this, and it was saying how like the classical music was most supposed to represent like his soul and just like him in general. If you look at those moments that the classical music's playing, it's like him inside him, and then like all the chaos around him.
Yes.
So that makes it a little bit better, even though I don't know, I'm just not a huge fan of it. I know it was nominated for 7 Oscars, including Best Picture, Director, Supporting Actor. Oh, actually 8. Sorry, Supporting Actor, Supporting Actress, Adapted Screenplay, Original Score, Cinematography, and Film Editing. What do you think about it being nominated for those categories?
I don't know. Definitely not supporting actress.
I thought you were for that when we first watched it. Did you go down this watch?
I don't know. I think I've seen more movies from that year by now. I don't know who. I'd have to look up everything that I would want. But I mean, I guess I'd be all right with the others.
I'm not mad about any of these as far as the nominations go. I would have nominated it for Director, Picture, Supporting Actor, Adapted Screenplay, Cinematography, and Film Editing. But I'm not upset that it was nominated for Score. Or Actress, really, although I definitely wouldn't have nominated Naomi Harris for Best Supporting Actress, because I don't know, like, but maybe that's how I view the character too, part of it. Like,
well, no, I mean, I think she gave a good performance.
Yeah, because she gave a good performance in becoming that character. It just didn't stand out to me.
I'd have to look up everybody that was nominated.
I
don't know if I'd have nominated for Score, especially not over if Hell or High Water wasn't nominated. It definitely shouldn't have took that spot.
And it won Adapted Screenplay, which is what I believe that it definitely should have won for.
I had to rewatch Arrival. Just say,
get Arrival out of here, dude.
I'm so tired of your garbage opinions about this movie. Hate Amy Adams as much as the Academy.
The Academy loves Amy Adams. I don't know what you're talking about.
Never given her anything.
Just maybe not a win, but she's nominated for almost like.
She's the female Leonardo DiCaprio.
She could be in a Hairspray commercial, and they would be like, "Oh, nominated."
I'll buy some Hairspray. What's your problem with Amy Adams, man? It's messed up.
Nothing. She's a great actress.
I think this abuse.
But it's just like some of the roles that she's nominated for. Well, I don't know. Like, honestly though, most of the time I was looking the other day of like what I would nominate from each year, and most of the time I would have nominated her, but I don't think I would have. There's no win that I would have given her so far. What would you have given her a win for?
I had to pull it up real quick.
Okay, we'll come back to it. But Mahershala Ali won. He's won twice now for supporting actor, which, and in my opinion, he should have only been nominated once for this film. I don't think Green Book should have gotten much of any nominations. It was a good movie.
Yeah, he should have been nominated for that.
Green Book?
Nominated, yeah.
I don't agree. Not based on what came out that year. Maybe if you were doing 15 nominees, but not 5. Sorry.
15.
Better performances. And he should have been nominated for Moonlight. I don't think he personally should have won for Moonlight, though.
Amy Adams won for The Fighter, by the way. That's the one I was
Okay, you're right. Fighter, she should have won for.
Yeah, so take that. Melissa Leo, I don't even know if I would have nominated her.
Probably not. I think Jeff Bridges' performance in Hell or High Water for supporting actor was better. Personally, it's not a win that I'm mad about. Like looking back, like there's other stuff that I am more upset about as far as people winning. At least his performance was one I would have nominated. But I don't know. Like looking at his scenes in the film, I really love. Obviously, my favorite scene with him is at the dinner table. Um, that one, and then also the scene uh, with him and the mom, Paula.
Yeah.
Are both really good. I mean, all of his moments are good. It's just I don't know.
Like I told you, it's hard for me to judge when you only have like 7 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
Like that's what I say. I think it would have been more easily for me to decide if he would have been in the second chapter. Because I can't imagine his performance being less, but I just get more of it.
Right. And this is an adapted screenplay because it was based off a play that the screenwriter had originally wrote, which is always weird. I mean, for me to consider it adapted. I know it is adapted technically, but the director and the cinematography were good in this film. Obviously, they was nominated for both. Some of the shots I don't like, but I'm not saying they're bad. It's just I'm not a fan of it, and that's like some of the shots where it's like really up at their face and just centers on them. This bothered me in the theaters. I don't know. It's not a fan of it. And then also that, especially the one that stands out is the one with the mom when she's yelling at him. I don't. It's not a big fan of it. And then the sound's off in that scene too, where she's yelling until later in the film where it shows it again and we do hear what she said. And there's also a scene like this too at the end with Kevin with the sounds off. Which in that video I was watching explaining stuff, it does make sense in terms of well, the one where in the house where it shows her, you just don't hear anything.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
But, well, they're both on purpose because the one at the end with Kevin, and then there's another scene with the mom too, and in the part 2 when she comes out and she's talking to him from when he's on the way to school before he goes in and lets her in the house. Both the sounds are off, and they're for certain purposes. Like in that scene, she's supposed to be high, so it's supposed to be a representation of that. And then when the sound comes back and matches up, it's her coming down from the high. So I mean, it makes sense. It's just I don't know. It just bugged me watching it. But some of the stuff I did like, the low shots in the water when he's teaching him how to, or taking him out there and teaching him how to swim, or all that. The spinning shots, both of like group shots to represent like the inner circle type thing that was going on in the school, and then also the first time we see Juan, there's like these swirling shots that are like blockbuster style. Like the person in the video compared it to Michael Bay and like Bad Boys and his style of like direct, which you laugh, but I mean it is cool because it's like
compared to Michael Bay.
This isn't a blockbuster film. It is a an art house type film, and you brought this to make him appear cool, smooth. So I like those. I thought that was really good decisions in terms of the shots and everything there. And then we had the 3 different actors too. Was Alex R. Hippert, Ashton Sanders, and Trevante Rhodes play Sharon through different points in his life. And getting the 3 different actors is supposed to like represent like the changes of the characters, obviously, and evolving, how you look different at different points, how you are different at different points in your life, and trying to find your who you really are, your true self, which is a lot about what this film is supposed to be. What did you think about the different actors?
That's fine. I think they all serve their purpose. I didn't like how, I don't know, I guess this is on the play. I don't like how you had each one being like different names. Kind of annoying.
I like that.
Oh, man. I don't know. I just sat there and I was like, oh. Well, I guess I think that's what annoys me is I look on IMDb and it has them listed as those names. And that's annoying. I don't like that at all.
I get what you're saying in terms of that. But I liked it because it does talk about that, of just like who you are and how people saw him. And also talk about how like society sees him too. Even when he's a kid, like society is putting labels on him and knows who he is before he even does.
But I liked that. And also, what I liked about the third part was how it does show that he's like, he's suppressed, like who he is.
Yeah.
As a person at this point.
Well, yeah, you can bring it up when he's driving down the road with that guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't bring it up anything. So clearly nobody knows.
So I like that. The third part, I like that. I like seeing that version of him, and that performance. I just wish we could have, like you said, got more in that third part versus just him and Kevin. And his mom.
And this is one where I didn't like the ambiguous ending on whether they end up together or not.
I don't think they did.
So I don't know. This is one where I didn't like. That's not for me.
I would have preferred a different ending too.
Well, on this one, I just didn't like it.
I don't know what I would have done with the ending. I feel like, it cuts to him too, as a kid again. That flashback.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been a better character arc if you'd have kept Juan alive longer and actually killed Kevin and had him find out about it. Yeah.
Some hot takes there.
Yeah.
Bring back Juan.
I don't know.
I don't. Maybe. I feel like Juan was a more interesting character, so I would agree with that. Than Kevin. Because I mean, in the third act, that was one of the things too. Was like the performance was fine. I mean, it was good, but the whole thing in the diner, a lot of times I was like, this character kind of annoys me. Kevin.
I don't know. Like some of the things I understand. Like somebody when he's going to drink, he's like, "Oh, I can't taste it." I don't. What? Can't taste. You taste buds?
Yeah, it's a character choice. Yeah.
Your taste buds don't work at all.
Well, we don't know what happened to him between 2 and 3.
I mean, he's eating the food and he liked it. So I don't know what he means. I can't taste it. But you have to taste something, man. I don't know what that means. Oh, that'd be the last thing I want to taste is some wine or something.
I don't know.
Take those grills out of your mouth. Taste something.
And then there's Kevin in the second part too. I don't really care for his character there either.
No, did not.
Yeah, so I mean, his character in general, it was just a decision that they made writing it, but it just, I feel like you had to have him in the third part for Chiron's arc. I guess. I don't know. I mean, they took it in that direction where it was like he was there in every chapter of his life. These 3 big chapters, and how I guess that was a parallel to his, but I wish they had taken that in a different direction. Honestly, I think I don't know how I would have ended it.
I don't know. I wish there would have been more of his mom.
More with his mom?
More of Teresa.
Yeah.
I wish the whole third act was different, honestly. I can't believe, like, I understand that Juan was his role model. And like you said, he went to juvie or prison or whatever, taught it, got put on the block, moved up, but I don't know. I don't know if I believe this character would have went that route.
I don't know.
And I guess it's because I don't get the stuff in the middle of the stories. Like, I don't know what Juan taught him. And then, like, I can't imagine, like I say, I can't imagine him being like, yeah,
I don't think he did, because, I mean, we don't see that influence in the second part, right?
I know Teresa definitely influenced in it because she lives in a different house now, so it's not like I think she liked Juan for one because it wasn't like he went with someone else who was a drug dealer just to keep up that lifestyle. And then See, with everything you went through as a kid, with everything you saw with your mom, now you're just gonna do the same thing as somebody else's mom. I don't know. I didn't believe that in his character.
I don't know if he had that much of a choice when he came out of juvie.
There's absolutely a choice.
I don't know, man.
There's absolutely a choice.
I don't know. I don't know what his age was. He said he was put on the block. So I don't know if it was like a type of thing where, people made him do that. It is in Atlanta. Amen.
Yeah.
You get the option of doing that or getting killed,
Well, I'm out. But even then, you could have left though. Like even if it wasn't a choice then.
You could have, and that's the thing. Maybe he does do that. Maybe he does leave. I have a hard time believing that him and Kevin ended up together. I don't think.
Yeah, no, I don't see it.
Because for one thing, him coming out would be a huge deal. Like that would be
He had a target on his back for what he's doing.
And I don't know how openly Kevin is out.
I mean, I doubt very open.
So I don't know in terms of that. And is this something that would continue throughout their lives? Would there be a fourth part when they're both older? Like a Brokeback Mountain sort of situation where they, which I also rewatched recently, where they meet up at different points in their life, or is this the last time they meet up?
I hope it's the last time. Because man, that was boring. I don't want to see another story.
But yeah, overall, I think it was a really good film, but I don't think it should have won Best Picture.
I think it's a bit overhyped.
But what I'll say is like I don't think it should have won Best Picture. I think it should have been nominated if you're given, even if you gave 5 nominees, I still would have probably put it in there. But I was looking at it and it's like La La Land should have won Best Picture that year. Best film of the year. Should have won. I also think Hell or High Water was a better film than Moonlight.
And Arrival. I will hear no contradiction.
Not Arrival. Not Arrival.
Rewatch it, man. I don't think you've seen it since 2016.
There are 3 films above Moonlight for me that, not like in terms of my personal, because there's a lot of films actually and over Moonlight is personal, but as far as winning Best Picture, La La Land, Hell or High Water, and Manchester by the Sea. But I do need to rewatch Manchester by the Sea too. I have. Oh, God, man, you're talking about boring.
I think you've only seen it one time.
I have it on Blu-ray.
I think you've only seen it one time. I'll pull up your old review, one of the year's best films.
There's no old review.
Yeah,
I didn't have Letterboxd then.
I got you, bro. I'll post it.
Yeah, okay.
Post it in the comments of this video.
Arrival's always been a 4-star for me.
That's the problem.
I don't know. And Enemy, I went down, so I don't. We'll see how Arrival goes.
You need to rewatch it. I think
2.5. I'm gonna rewatch it.
I will never do another video. I will not listen to these garbage opinions. I put Arrival above Hell or High Water as far as how good of a movie. Now, Hell or High Water is my favorite out of all the nominees that year. But as far as like just pure cinema, like I think Arrival is a better movie.
Based on what?
Everything. Just an overall film.
That's a hard no for me. Definitely.
I've only seen it once, man.
You got a 5-star versus a 4-star right there.
You got 2 5-star films. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'll rewatch Arrival and just maybe I missed something.
I'll wait for your review so I can be like, yeah, I told you.
I like the cinematography.
Score? Get out of here.
I don't know. I mean, those alone still though, it's not going to make a movie 5-star for me.
You just don't like Jeremy Renner.
I mean, that definitely didn't elevate the movie for me.
No, the ship's it.
Huh? I mean, it was a really good movie. I don't know if I don't think I would have nominated for 5. Well, I don't know. When I was doing my list the other day,
Even throw that job in my face. I'm not going to nominate for Best Picture.
when I was looking the other day and I was nominating like 5 movies for each year that I would have nominated, I didn't put it in there.
You are just crazy.
I did not. I put La La Land, Hell or High Water, Manchester, Moonlight. I can't remember I think 20th Century Women, maybe. I put it in there.
You're crazy. Get out of here, dude. I'm not listening to this. Jesus.
It's his fourth best movie.
You are insane, man. Under the 20th Century Women. I don't want to hear that garbage.
I was trying to figure out which that could be exchanged.
You figured it out wrong. I'll tell you that.
Because I almost put Edge of 17 in there instead of that 5th spot. Which is still a better movie than Arrival.
You're crazy. You are just hands down wrong. Now you're just being.
All right, guys. That's our video on Moonlight. Next week, we do have 20th Century Women that we're doing a video on. So check back next week. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And we'll be back tomorrow with Happy Hour.